Have you ever wondered what it would look like for the Caribbean workforce to go global without leaving home? AI innovation, remote work, and digital transformation are opening doors we once only imagined. Today, we launch Caribbean Chronicles with the stories that matter, the voices that inspire, and the future we're building together. Welcome to Caribbean Chronicles by Joss, the podcast where we explore the stories shaping the Caribbean. I'm your host, Joss. Joining me are our resident analyst, Dr. Kamar, and our cultural insider and storyteller, May.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here, ready to talk about the real Caribbean, the one that's thriving, innovating, and making moves.
And I'm here to bring the data, the context, and maybe challenge a few assumptions along the way.
Perfect. So this is our very first episode, and we're starting with a simple question. Why does this podcast exist? Because Caribbean stories are innovation and excellence. They deserve space, not tucked away, not treated like trends, but centered where they belong as the main narrative. Each episode, we're shining a light on the creators, entrepreneurs, and changemakers shaping our region. And today, we're diving into three big topics: visibility for Caribbean women, the remote work revolution, and how AI is positioning us for the future. Quick note, we tested a few AI voices to help us bring you consistent weekly content. The voices might not sound Caribbean yet, but trust me, the stories, the insights, and the passion, they're 100% Caribbean. Let's start with something that matters deeply: representation. Caribbean women are leading in business, tech, entertainment, politics, you name it. But how often do their stories make it to global platforms?
Not often enough, Joss. And it's not because the work isn't there. Trust me, I know it is. It's because the spotlight rarely points our way. I think about women like Somalia Mattis, founder of Happy Star Travel. She's helping Caribbean travelers access 87 countries, visa-free, empowering people to explore the world. Her IG is full of travel highlights. She's been featured on local media. She's genuinely building a movement. But outside the region, nothing.
That's the visibility gap. It's structurally designed. Mainstream media focuses on the same markets, the same voices, the same narratives. Caribbean women aren't less accomplished. They're less amplified. And that's what needs to change.
Exactly. And this podcast, it's part of that change. We're no longer waiting for permission to tell our stories. We're creating the platform ourselves.
And when Caribbean women lead, entire communities benefit. That's not just inspiration, that's impact.
Absolutely. And you know what's helping create even more of those opportunities, my friend? The shift to remote work. Because now, Caribbean professionals, especially women, don't have to choose between staying home and accessing global opportunities. Dr. K, talk to us about what's happening with remote work in the region.
Remote work is transforming the Caribbean workforce. We're talking tech, customer service, content creation, finance. Industries that used to require relocation are now accessible from home. Platforms like Turing and TopTal are connecting Caribbean software developers to Silicon Valley companies. Creatives are landing contracts on Fiverr and Upwork. Even Amazon and Shopify are hiring customer service roles remotely from the region.
So the opportunity is real, but what's the catch?
It's simple: infrastructure and classification. Internet reliability is still inconsistent in some areas of the Caribbean. And a lot of remote workers are classified as independent contractors, which means no healthcare, no benefits, no job security. You're competing globally, but without the safety net workers in the US or Europe take for granted.
Dr. Kamar, I have a friend in Trinidad who does graphic design for clients in New York. She's making good money, but she told me, May, I'm always one bad internet day away from losing a client. That's the reality. The work is there, but the infrastructure needs to catch up.
So it's a double-edged sword. The opportunity is global, but the challenges are very real. Which brings us to something that could be a game changer: AI. Not as a replacement for workers, but as a tool to help Caribbean professionals compete at the highest level. Dr. K, you've been tracking this closely. What role is AI playing?
It's huge, Joss. AI is the efficiency multiplier. If you can use it to work faster, deliver better quality, and stand out from competitors globally, you're competing on skill and innovation, not just on who has the fastest internet connection. Caribbean professionals who embrace AI tools will have a real edge.
That's a major shift, Dr. K. And it sets the stage for something I've been hearing a lot about lately. There's this company called LATAM GPT that people are calling a regional game changer in AI. I know you've done your homework. Can you break this down for us to understand what are they doing that can possibly change the region?
Yep, LATAM GPT is a game changer. It's an open-access AI model built by over 30 institutions across Latin America and the Caribbean, to be exact. Unlike mainstream AI trained mostly in the US or China, this one is designed for our context, our languages, our cultures, our industries. It's trained on local data, so it understands regional nuances, and it's built with ethics and inclusivity at the core.
Wait, so this isn't just another ChatGPT clone?
Not at all, May. It's built by the region, for the region. It was expected to launch publicly in June 2025, and it represents a major step in making sure Caribbean and Latin American voices aren't left out of the AI revolution.
And we're already seeing AI adoption across the region, aren't we? For instance, Barbados financial firms are using automated bookkeeping. Jamaican entrepreneurs are using tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney for content creation. Trinidad is testing AI-powered diagnostic tools in healthcare.
That's wild. AI isn't some far-off future. It's already here, changing how we work.
Exactly, May. But the key is engagement. Caribbean professionals need to not just use the tool, they need to shape it. That means literacy training and investment. We can't afford to be passive consumers. We need to be active participants in how this technology develops.
Powerful reminder, Dr. K. And honestly, it ties everything together. From visibility to remote work to AI, this isn't just theory. This is our lived reality as a region. We covered a lot today, and I want us to take a moment with it. Because this conversation is more than just facts. It's about our people and how we imagine moving forward. So before we close, Ms. May, let's start with you. What stood out most from today's conversation?
For me, it's that Caribbean women deserve visibility. Not someday, not when the world decides we're ready, but right now. We've been carrying industries, raising communities, building ideas in silence for too long. Our stories aren't happenstance. They're the heartbeat of this region. It's time we start telling our stories boldly and unapologetically.
May, what you just said is so right. Our listeners need to hear that visibility is not a luxury. It's a necessity. When our women rise, the whole region rises. Now, on the practical side, remote work is opening global doors, but our infrastructure and worker protections need to evolve with it. And AI? It's not optional anymore in 2026. It's the tool that will shape who leads and who gets left behind in the next decade.
And that's exactly why we're here. We're documenting the brilliance happening in real time and amplifying the voices that deserve center stage. Because we should all have the opportunity to define our future on our own terms. Thank you for tuning in to Caribbean Chronicles by Joss and for sharing this first step with us. If something in today's conversation moved you, send this episode to someone who needs that spark too. And remember, if you're building something, dreaming about something, or standing right at the edge of your next move, don't stop believing in what's possible for you. Subscribe to stay connected, stay inspired, and keep building with us. Next week, we're diving into digital commerce, breaking down how Caribbean entrepreneurs are scaling through e-commerce, fintech, and cross-border platforms. Until then, keep pushing the culture forward. I'm Joss with Dr. Kimar and May, and we'll meet you right back here next Wednesday.
Caribbean Chronicles by Joss is produced by Joss Productions, all rights reserved.